widow again. This guy was born in 1955.
All right.
He is only 18 years old. How is that possible?
Hey, look, hey, man, look, this is a BPTV. I don't know the answer to that one. Hey, I am John. We got Rob. What's up, dude?
What up, man?
I mean, you know what we doing. We're just trying to help our community. And today we got a special guest that we're about to interview out of Oakland. He's a property manager. He's the CEO of Property Management.
Okay.
I think it's has some property out here in Louisiana, man. But look, we'll check it out when we talk to him.
All right, that's cool. Pull him up.
Look, y'all, we got a special guest. His name is Ishmael McClinton, property manager out there in Oakland. Ish, what's up, man? I see the sun out there, man.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful day in California. Under the money tree. Just looking forward to this conversation with you guys.
Talk to me about this money tree, man. What's the money tree?
The money tree, it's the best place for shade in my yard, but it's a place where we come and relax and just especially me and the wife come just talk about little things.
Yeah. What we really do, we try to create conversations and try to inform our community of how to vote and to encourage them to participate in the process.
Just give a little knowledge out. And another thing, I would say, why to vote. So that's a big thing too. We want to try to encourage kids or any age, if you're not voting, why to vote and why vote out. Any angle we can give somebody to show them how much a vote matters.
Right.
And sitting there telling us that you're a property manager, and how much does that, being a property manager, how much does the law affect being a property manager, and then having to vote on the different changes that have coming up dealing with property.
So let me tell you guys, I probably was as stubborn as most, I think, kids following our footsteps, where you come up, you don't think that the election process is built for you, so you don't participate. So fast forward, and I become a property owner, and I really didn't get engaged until Obama ran for president, and that's where I started noticing and paying attention. But aside from Obama becoming president, there's a lot of things on that ballot that had to do with being a property owner and where our property taxes are going. You have to participate in, and especially me being a homeowner before I even became a property manager, just what really affects you. And having a voice is a really powerful thing, because if you don't participate, I'll give you a really good example. In my community that I live in, we have an HOA. We don't have our own city hall or anything like that. We use the sheriff's unincorporated area. That's what they call it, unincorporated area. And so we're attached to the city, but we're not necessarily a part of the city. And so, like I said, we don't have our own mayor, so that's why they have the HOA. They came up with this HOA to enforce some of the decisions of the community. Those who are a part of the HOA do pay an HOA fee, and so there's a lot of people.
Does it ever increase?
It does increase, and there's a lot of people who pay this fee, and it increases on them, and they never go to the HOA meetings and have a voice in the decisions that are being made on their property. And just recently, the HOA was proposing that everybody put a tree in their front yard. Now the HOA isn't going to do the maintenance on that tree. If the roots were to bust your pipe, they're not going to clean up all the leaves when they fall on the ground, other than street sweeping, or they're not going to make it look pretty in your yard. You're responsible for that as a homeowner. And people, when they hear.
So I guess basically what you're saying is, if you're a member of this association, and if you don't go and participate and vote to increase your HOA will get increased?
Absolutely.
See, Rob, this is kind of what we're talking about, man.
You did bring up, sitting there listening to him, and I figured that's where they was going to go. But that's not voting like you don't have to be registered to vote, and all that stuff is still doing the same thing. I thought about kids in elementary. Okay, we can't get you to register to vote, but kids vote on class presidents. It's the same process. It's the same thought process. It's just at a higher level when you're dealing with
Right.
adults.
Absolutely.
Let's dive in deeper though, because now did y'all know that during the colonial and revolutionary era, only property owners could vote? So only people that own property could vote, like pre 1776.
Well, let me say why that makes sense to me. It's because a lot of people who complain about the system don't have any business in the system. It doesn't necessarily directly affect them because they're living with their parents, they're living with their mother, they're living with a relative. So as it pertains to me as a property owner, the business side of it doesn't affect them. It's just an opinion for them. And so who it does affect in the business sense, when the decisions get made, that's why they should have a vote in a say in the decisions that are being made.
Going back to what you were saying, why would you have somebody outside your HOA vote?
Right.
Because it don't have nothing to do with you.
Yeah. Now, is that right or wrong? I'm not defending that at all, but I'm just saying why that kind of makes sense.
Makes sense to you.
Yes, when you do your risk assessments, like when you're looking at to either rent or to buy property to flip, how does voting tie into that? I guess like things that could come up on the ballot.
Okay. So I'm actually going to be leaving a city. I'm leaving, selling my Oakland rental because there are so many, the taxes are too high, and there is so much bureaucracy in tenant rights that it's very hard for me to manage it and have my own say so, as a property owner, as managing the property. So instead of arguing, I'll just take my money and I go play ball in a park that is a little bit more friendly to me. I'm in this business to make money. I'm not in this business to be arguing with people or governments about how they feel their city should be run. And so,
I got a question for you. Dealing with Section 8.
right,
Now, there's always talks about changing Section 8, taking some rights away from, taking support away from, which is going to be things that people will vote on. Does that
right.
affect you as a property manager a lot?
It does. It does. In any program that you get into, especially these government programs like Section 8, you need to know what your rights are, because you're playing under their rules because you're entering their program. Now, for me, I don't yet accept Section 8, although a lot of my colleagues in the industry are telling me to, because they see the benefit in it. And it's not that I don't see the benefit in it. It's that I haven't had, there's so much demand here. Haven't had a need to go to Section 8 to find residents.
I was just
Hey,
trying to think the things that that comes up on the voting block as as they want to say, United States is broke, so they try to cut corners, money back, all the money that we lending out, which is both they talking, trying to, hey, well, we're gonna stop Section 8. We're gonna stop food stamps, stuff they want to cut back, which also is gonna be up to vote.
Well, for the taxes that I do pay, I fully support the taxes that go to helping people out, in any need that they are, or any point that they are in their life. So those are some of the things personally that I would vote for, even if it might cost me a little bit more money. At least if I'm going to be spending that money, I can help direct it with my vote.
members of our community, young voters, young new voters, be more informed as to what to vote for. And now we are nonpartisan, so we're not trying to tell you to vote for this or vote for that or vote for him or vote for her. All we're trying to do is familiarize you with what may be on the ballot and things of that nature. So, are there any other areas where you see other entrepreneurs in the community need to step up?
Um, I think as a community, we all just need to step up, all be more vocal, all be more participants. It's bothersome hearing people say that they don't see the need to vote, that their vote doesn't count. And I think that's a mistake. It does count. Um, and that's kind of the culture that I would like to change. I think part of that is increasing the conversation, being part of the conversation, and actually voting yourselves so that you're speaking of a place of experience. And if I had to think on how I can get others to vote, is when I'm filling out, having people fill out their applications. There's no reason why I couldn't include a voter registration in there since they're moving into a new residence. That's certainly something that I could include, and might even think about it going forward. Like, hey, since you're moving in, go ahead and take this voter registration and familiarize yourself with.
That's doing your point. That's good. Okay. So what do you do to prepare yourself to vote?
I read the booklets that they send in the mail. Absolutely pay attention to everything that affects my money. Whether it's a tax for the roads, like your bus agency or your train agency might be trying to get some money out of your local tax because I don't know, they're not managing their money right. That's something that the voter absolutely has a say so in and can put a stop to. But you have
Right.
to participate in.
I know every state, every city, they kind of do little things different. And you've been living in Louisiana before, when it comes to voting, you gotta do town hall meetings. I know they do debates. What other little small things that if you're paying attention or you're not paying attention, you can find out, and learn more about these candidates.
Absolutely, going to those meetings. That's where those candidates come from. Your HOA board members, those are a lot of times local lawyers or people just getting experience for practice for when they want to go up to run for mayor or city election or things like that. And then when they do the city election and the mayor, that's when they want to go for if they're successful, that's when they want to graduate. So there is a ladder to this. And if you're just somebody you don't like, vote for the no when they're young so they get the point that nobody likes them.
Good, I started early.
Yeah.
Right
But
on, right.
All jokes aside, though, there is a ladder to it. People just don't all of a sudden just you know run for governor.
that's,
They usually have some experience behind them.
that's real good advice. It's really like you're saying, hey, if you're looking at somebody that's run for judge and you want to know about them, check out their past. If they run for something else before.
Absolutely,
But
you can go and you can look at all their decisions on their cases. Usually, a lot of that stuff is public information. So if you want to see what kind of person they are, see what they've done with their career.
and you see that's nice because tying into us on a local level here down in Lake Charles, we got some judges running right now. And me, I'm not from down here, so I can't like really see this as like it's someone running for a homecoming king or queen. I don't know who these people are. So, and it's kind of weird because I don't feel safe as to just leaving it blank. And I don't know if I should pick this one or that one when it comes to running for judges. And I didn't grow up with these people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of people do a lot of voting by a name. So that's why you see all these flyers and they post names. So, oh, I seen that name on that poster. You can go hit it. Sometimes it's just color. Sad to say, you know,
Yeah,
Obama.
and let me
Obama
add to that.
was a smart cat, but a lot of that was color.
Right. Let me add to that. There are a lot of people in office who've been in the office since the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, and people wonder why things haven't changed. Is because they're not doing their homework and they're going off of the name recognition that they've seen that they're accustomed to. The things aren't going to change until we get some of those old people out and some of the new mentality in.
Right.
And so that's why a lot of things have not changed. Is those people who've been in there 30, 40 years, maybe they've done a good job. That's cool. But at some point, it's time to move on because there's generations, and different generations have different obstacles. Like the generation that's going to grow up with this virus, they're going to see the world in a completely different way that I've seen it.
Yeah, like you said, we appreciate it, man. Just another mind helping push this, be prepared to vote. I'm still thinking about what you said as far as putting registration on your application. And that's going above and beyond. Let's
Right.
community rise together. I
Right.
like
And
that.
then, you know where I got that idea from? If I was in a different industry, how could I help? And I remember at the barbershop when I was a kid, Mr. Johnson, he had a box of registrations that you could grab when you walk out the door of the barbershop. And so I wasn't grabbing it because I was young enough. He was giving me suckers. But the older people, if they want it, they get them a voter registration. And little things like that. No matter what industry you're in, there is a way that you can increase this conversation and participation of those who want to.
Hey, where can people find information, man?
Ish McClinton at yahoo.com, Ish McClinton at gmail.com. I'm on Facebook, Ishmael McClinton. I'm not hard to find. Ish McClinton, Ish Property Management LLC. I'm out there and I'm active.
Yes.
Always looking for the next great real estate.
On a personal. Hey, you do Airbnbs?
My bad.
Yes.
I'm here.
There? Okay.
I don't do
Yeah, because you kind of
Airbnbs.
sound like you was
I like
going
long-term
through
rentals.
the
Yeah.
American.
Because of something like this where people can't travel, I had an Airbnb with
Hey, you
nobody
do
really could go into it
Airbnbs?
unless there was like a major local draw, like a lake or I don't know.
All right, y'all. Well, look, this is us again from BPT trying to help the community be better informed when they go to the ballot to cast their vote. We had a great conversation with Ish.
Appreciate the time, man.
All right, you guys, you have a wonderful day. It's out from the money tree.
All
The
right.
money tree. I like that, boy. What would you call this? Just a informative platform?
A vision.
Okay. A vision for our community?
A vision for our community. To the simplest thing. The average person votes daily in their mind.
You're debating with yourself.
Do I want whole milk, skim milk? Do I want to pay this much for this milk? Is Borden's better than the Kroger brand? That's all the same thing a vote is. You do your homework, and then you go make a decision. You go make a choice. Vote, man. And we thank y'all for taking the time out to listen. Again, subscribe, make your comments, and we'll do our best to respond and give you an answer if we have one. You have any suggestions on something you might want us to bring to the table? And we take those too.
And remember, the best way to vote is to be informed.